Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nighthawk High Strangers podcast channel. This is our Christmas special. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. I hope I'm the first to make that greeting to you. We're going to have a very special 2 hours tonight. Our first hour is going to be filled with me and Eric and our special guest, Ron Howes, who is the biker Bigfoot. Um, amazing gentleman, very good brother of mine, and I had the privilege of giving him his Native American name this past summer, and we still got to do a ceremony and get that done. So hopefully, I'll be around long enough to do that for this summer. Anyways, I'm going to get into the disclaimer, and then we're going to get right into it. Eric is still on his way to his studio, so you're going to be hanging with me and Ron for the first few minutes, and we'll go from there, guys. All right. The disclaimer is Nighthawk High Strangers podcast channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the fair use, which is the Copyright Act of 1976. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances are made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and let's not forget the entertainment value. So, being said, that also includes the music, YouTube. All righty, let me get that off of there. Now, Merry Christmas, everybody. I know I'm looking very festive today, so wearing my black, you know how I am. Anyways, I'm going to be bringing Ron on here in a second, and we're going to have him introduce himself and tell us a little bit about himself, how he got into what he does, and why. And in fact, he's probably writing down all these questions right now that I just said. I see him smiling backstage, so he knows. Yep. All right. None other than Ron, the biker Bigfoot House. Here he is, folks. How are we doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
Tired. Very stressed. I don't know why I'm stressed today. It's supposed to be a Christmas special. I shouldn't be stressed. But let's go ahead and if you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself. Tell them about what you do. What I know you have several groups, and you have a Facebook group and all that too. Literally just, brief biography, if you would, please.
Sure, no problem. Well, my name is Ron Howes. I am a 50-year-old male from originally from Deemston, Pennsylvania. I grew up on a farm. We had all the essentials of a farm, the different animals and stuff. Just going through life in school, I was in the band, I was in the choir, and just doing the things that normal kids do on a farm. Actually, I had at one point in life, I had been in the service. I've been in the Legion. I have been around different shows throughout my life, but nothing like what I'm involved in now. So what has gotten me into what I'm doing now, and I'll explain a little bit better what that is the fact that I had a sighting of the creature Bigfoot when I was 13 years old on the family farm, which grew my interest over the years. I had graduated from school. I had made some new friends. We would go to the mountains and go fishing for a week. I'd be wandering off into the woods and I'd be doing investigations. It's just because of what happened when I was 13, and then also before I graduated, there was a investigation that happened in a local area, probably about 15 minutes away from the farm I grew up on, where I'm actually living now, Daisy Town, Pennsylvania, which there's two of them. Mine's near California College. The other one is over in Johnstown, so that way everybody knows exactly where I'm at. Um, so with those two things that happened in my life, it grew and grew and grew. And I just kept going out and doing these little investigations, just all private things, just, just trying to get a knowledge of what's going on. I grew up on a farm, we hunted. So, I know what's out
Hmm.
there, what's in these woods and stuff, no tracking and stuff like that. Um, and, taking different jobs, going here, going there. Uh, at one point, work wasn't going too well, so I joined the service. A lot of people know the story behind that one, where I went to the service and I had my medical condition and I ended up coming home, uh, which later led me into the Legion. But one thing that I've been asked in the past is has that ever left you, the knowledge and the want to learn more about what you saw at 13 years old? And I said, and it hasn't. It has never left me. I've actually been nicknamed Bigfoot before I became Biker Bigfoot. Everybody knew me as that. Everybody would send me stuff, and so the part of this story that sets me up for where I'm at now is when I went to the service. I was Air Force, and I went to Lackland Air Force Base in Texas. And during training, I had a heat stroke, and I flatlined. And when I came to, the doctors came to me and said, "Hey, this is what happened to you, and you can either go home, you can go back to training. We'll get you physical therapy, whatever you need to do." I didn't want to leave. I went there for a purpose, but even though I went in for physical therapy to get me back into training, my body was not, working out with the issue. I was basically dead for 5.5 minutes and unconscious for 3.5 hours. My temperature was 109, and I guess my body said enough is enough. I gave it an effort to stay. I was back in the hospital 7 more times. I ended up coming home. So years had passed, and I'm still going out and I'm doing these little investigations and stuff. And one day, I had got a friend that had said, "Hey, dude, like, why don't you come ride with me? Get a bike, let's go ride. Come be part of the Legion." And so I did. And as soon as I walked through the door, they're like, "Hey, we need a vice commander. You want to be vice commander?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" Okay, well, you're part of the writers group. How about being the assistant director? Okay, sure. And then it just kept going. Like, I had another one come to me and says, "Hey, how about assistant director for Region 1," which put me in charge of 20 different legions. So needless to say, we're going out there, we're doing these benefit rides, I'm getting to know people. I became brothers to a lot of people in the military field. And as well as I do, when we go to different things, you're seeing a lot of people that you may have never encountered, but you can relate to, where
Right.
they've been and what they've gone through. My personal
Yeah.
experience, obviously, I didn't get to set foot on the battlefield, but my battle was within my own body. I fought this to
Yeah.
keep myself alive. But with being in the Legion, we would go to funerals. And, my personal experience, going through life with some different things that's going wrong in my
Yeah.
life. And the fact that I had that heat stroke and died. Oh, by the way, I had an outer body experience during that too. So,
So you had an NDE,
yes,
a near death experience. So
yes.
yeah.
So, there was a lot of experience with that. And it plays a role on why I have PTSD myself,
Hmm.
post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Um, so, being in a Legion, we go to funerals. One year, I went to 4 different funerals for suicide, and that really struck me. I'm thinking, one in particular, serviceman. He was young. He was in his 20s. He had everything going for him. And I was like, what could make a person be so down that they're going to take their life? And it just kept on
Right.
working on me. And it just came to my mind one day. I was like, you know what? I'm in these positions, in this Legion of leadership. Why can't I start something to help the progression of people healing from, you know, what they're dealing with, to stop them from going into this suicidal position. So
Hmm.
my page
And
was
folks,
born.
suicide, yeah, suicide with veterans and military personnel is unfortunately very, very high. It's over like 70,000 a year, isn't it? Something like that, 77,000,
Yes,
something like that.
yes, it is. It's 20. Well, I mean, that's
And
why they
it's
came up with the one group, the 22s, because it's 22 veterans a day.
right.
So you
Yeah.
add that up throughout the year. I mean, that's just too many. So I
Right.
know there's other
Yeah.
groups out there that are, you know, fighting to help people, but you know, I was like, well, what's one more out there on the battlefield trying to you
Right.
know, help these people with this stuff? So that's where my page was born. But that wasn't the only stage that got me to do what I'm doing. Is because of my sightings and my
Mhm.
interest in this cryptid creature. I just randomly bought a costume one day, and I had
Right.
no idea about these shows that are going on. Just so happened there was one right here in Brownsville, 10 minutes from my house, and I had the costume. Oh, wait, I'm also a Legion rider, so I have a bike. So what did I do? Threw the
Hmm.
costume on, and then I was like, okay, well, my costume's going to get burnt on the bike. So I threw the chaps on. I was like, what the heck? I'll throw my vest on, throw my helmet on. So Biker Bigfoot was born,
So
you know. So, you
yeah,
know,
Biker Bigfoot was born just because of that one time. That's awesome. That's
well,
awesome.
yeah. So one of
That's
the
awesome.
guys, we were supposed to go to a local watering hole to meet up for a cancer run. And I says, well, I would love to go with you guys, but I want to go to this Bigfoot show. But I'll come up there and hang out with you guys for a little bit before the show starts. So one of the guys showed up, and they had no idea that I was going to be wearing a costume. And he pulled in my driveway, and he all he did was shake his head like, oh my gosh. He says, okay, so what are we doing? So we rode around a little bit, ended up at the bar up on Route 40, and a bunch of people were there already, and they was like, oh my gosh, what is this guy doing? And then they looked at my vest, they're like, oh wait, we know who this is, you know. And so everybody's getting pictures with me. I says, okay guys, I'll see you later. And off I went. And the one picture that you put up for the opening to this was the very first day that this happened, was where I'm holding the flag. And that was
Uh-huh.
at Hillman Park in Brownsville, PA, with the Fayette County Bigfoot Researchers Organization. And
Huh.
and if you ever talk to Les Odell, he loves telling this story. He heard
Les.
me coming
Yeah.
in.
Good old Les.
I know, right? Les is great. I love him.
He's
He
awesome.
he he's actually the pinnacle of the beginning of a lot of things that started me where I'm going. And so I, you know,
Hmm.
I always praise him for this. And again, you know, back and forth as brothers, he loves telling this story because he remembers hearing me coming in to the park, and all of a sudden he sees this guy in a costume on a bike, and he's like, oh my gosh, I gotta go find out who this person is. So we became friends that day, and I became friends with all the other people. And then the other thing that what you know, led me to think, okay, well, I got to do something with this costume and just go somewhere with this. You know, this lady comes over, bunch of people. Obviously, I shut the show down, and everybody come over to be for pictures. But this one particular family, this little girl's birthday was that day, and all she wanted to do was meet Bigfoot. And there I was. I was like, oh my gosh, like this, I have something, you know, I have something here. This is really cool. So it just kept on putting my mind together, and you know, there it is. You know, my page was born. Believe in yourself, fight against PTSD.
Yeah.
What do? I use my Bigfoot costume as my mascot to get this out there. A lot of people are like, well, how do you bring PTSD and Bigfoot together? What's the correlation with that? I says, well, if you think about it, PTSD, take a look at some of the elder veterans. You know, they don't talk about their problems. They're hide from their problems. They just, you
Yeah.
know, here they are hiding in their own minds. Some of the families don't even know half the stories that they
Yeah.
have in their minds. And then there's
Yeah.
Bigfoot that's trying to elude us. It's the same concept. You know, you have two
Right.
opposing things here. but they work so well together, and that's the way I like to do things. I like to bring strange things together that you would never expect to see together, and just get it out there. And in the last 3 years, it's really grown. I've been a lot of places, and it's brought a lot of new people into my life, and it's just been amazing. So with that being said, so I do have my own personal page on Facebook. I have Believe in Yourself, Fight Against PTSD. I just recently opened up the page for Biker Bigfoot. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I've been to these different shows.
Yeah,
I've
I've been promoting
some
you.
famous people. There's somebody
Yeah.
coming in.
I've been promoting you. Oh, here's Eric. Here's Eric.
Hey, sorry guys, I had to restart my computer. That thing took forever
that's all right.
to restart.
That's all right. We just been chatting. We've been chatting with Ron.
Yeah,
Ron, this is Eric. Eric, this is Ron.
Hi, Eric.
Ron, nice to meet you, bud.
Nice to meet you.
I ride a scooter.
You
I ride
guys,
a scooter too. So
yeah,
Well, maybe we'll get in costume.
you guys
together
got a
and
lot
ride
in
together.
common. Actually, we all do.
you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I've actually thought about doing that very same thing for a long time, and I haven't done it yet. Then I find out about you. It's like, oh shit, somebody beat me to it.
I'm the one and only.
That's funny.
Heck yeah, man. No,
That's funny.
it's awesome.
We got a
I
patent
figure I
you,
do.
Ron.
Beans are doing it.
Oh, don't you worry. I am going to patent
Beans
that.
were doing a Christmas. Beans were doing a Christmas special. I was like, hey, why not some Christmas lights? So we got the blinking lights in the background for the Christmas special, y'all.
Oh, there you
Christy
go.
did today.
There you go.
Christy put up her Bonesy flag with
Yeah,
Christmas.
That's kind of
I can tell
combining
you,
the paranormal and Christmas. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
heck yeah.
Well,
Well, I
I mean,
can
that's
tell
what
you
she's
first-
all about. So,
Hey. Yeah.
I can tell you firsthand, riding in a Bigfoot costume is probably better than riding in a kilt, because if you don't tuck that kilt right, everybody in town knows.
oh, listen, I haven't gone that far yet. I am Scotch
I done her.
Irish. I've always wanted one, but I haven't gone that far yet. It
Yeah,
may
I
It was
happen.
a Christmas
someday.
special. Let's keep it safe.
Hey, you were safe. I had a kilt on. In fact, it was my Wallace clan kilt.
Oh, you're Wallace?
Oh boy.
Part of my family, part of my family history goes back to the Wallace clan.
I'm MacDonald.
Oh, you were to the north of my clan, if I remember correctly. Is where the
I can't
McDonald
remember which
territory
aisles it is. I know what it is, but I can't remember. We have a lot of family that settled in Massachusetts over by Plymouth Rock. There's actually a museum on the peninsula of Cape Cod. It's Captain Solomon's Howe's Museum, which is a descendant of mine. and there's supposed to be a mansion that looks over top of the bay. It's Howe's Mansion. So I come from some nobility somewhere down the line. On one hand, I come from some nobility. On the other hand, I come from circus.
I'm Cherokee, Comanche, Lakota, German, Irish,
Here's
English,
a
Scottish,
gentleman.
Norwegian.
Here's a gentleman in the chat, guys.
Stuart.
Here's a gentleman in the
Hey,
chat, Stuart, that good friend of mine and a brother. He's also a veteran, by the way, and we talk about our PTSD quite a bit lately. we I'll tell you what, if him and I would put together a PTSD book, it'd be pretty informative.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
It's I mean,
yeah,
I know the doctors, the VA doctors has tried to hit me with that a few times, and I was like, no, man, I don't have regrets what I did. My regrets is I didn't do enough. Too many brothers and sisters didn't make it home. I could have done more and sent some more. That's always been my regret. That's always been my regret.
Yeah. I have the same thing. I had I lost a really good buddy of mine. Pretty much we were inseparable. But to this day they haven't found him. So But I mean, we all go through that. Those of us that have been through the hell in the sandbox, or anywhere, to tell you the truth, for that matter. Um, we go through hell. A lot of people don't understand what military is like. It's not it's not something that
It's
that
not all
people should take
sunshines and
lightly,
rainbows.
especially civilians. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
unfortunately,
and
I didn't get to go
it
to the
it
caliber you guys did, but I'm right there with you, and I'm trying to do what I can to
right.
help you. And
Mm. Oh man, it's
Exactly, exactly, and that
it's a thing.
yep, yep,
Uh,
exactly.
by the way,
Yep.
YouTube,
That's
this is adult orange juice. Make sure YouTube knows that's adult orange juice.
is it Tang?
Well, hey, Ron,
It ain't,
do me a
it
favor.
ain't a
Can you tell us a little bit about your Bigfoot encounter when you were 13?
dude. Yeah, I
Well,
want to hear this.
there's not a whole lot to it, but the story is I was on my three-wheeler, and the family always kept the fence lines mowed all the way back into the woods. So, I'm riding this trail down the fence line, and I'm getting close to the entrance to the woods where I always like to go. I just go back there to hang out. And before I get to the entrance of the woods, I had a feeling of something's presence. So I stopped the bike and I looked over right where I was heading, and there was this 8 foot tall creature standing there looking at me. And the next thing you know, it's growling. And in my stupidity, I had a pull start bike. I shut it down, and I was like, "Oh, great! I hope this thing starts." You know,
Oh man.
so, but I saw its eyes. I saw, it growled at me. And at 13, you don't know what you're up against. I never heard about this thing before, but I very vividly remember
Yeah.
that, you know, and it stuck with me, and I just kept going after more and more information about these things. But the biggest thing that I'm doing now is that I'm doing
Okay.
research in the area that I live, and I'm in Daisytown, PA, as what I was describing earlier, where there was a news report back in the 90s. I was still in high school and I heard about this. A lot of people were trying to dismiss it as a hoax, where up on the hill behind us, there's a church up there with an open field with woods on either side. And there was footprints that was going through the field. Well, they traced these things down. There was all kinds of evidence left up there, but I mean, it was in the snow and stuff. But after coming down here, after all those years, about a couple weeks in of living here, I'm sitting on my front porch and I heard a long sustained howl. So I was like, okay, so I guess they're still in the area. So off I go to the
Yeah.
woods. I'm back there
Now
investigating.
yeah. Now I know that several people in the chat, are part of the ECBRO here with Daniel, and I know David and Melissa are in the chat,
Hey guys.
and John Nicely and his wife, are also part of it. And I know you've gone out with some of them, haven't you, on investigations?
Yeah,
haven't
last
you?
year I was down in
Or have
Virginia
you
with
done a
Dan,
camp
and
out with them at all? Or
yeah, I didn't make it this year to Virginia's camp out, but I did last year. We were down close to Elkhorn Lake. It was actually before the Virginia event. So we kind of like did some promo down there. Of course, I had my costume with me, and Dave was doing some photo shooting with me in the woods and stuff. And everybody was like, "Don't wander off into the woods too far because you're going to end up getting attacked by Bigfoot or something." But we had fun with it that night. But there was a lot of activity going on down there. I found actually handprints of one digging into the ground. I don't have the picture available at the moment, but I put my hand down in it for Dave to take a picture, and it dwarfed mine by 3 times the size of my hand.
Wow.
I wish I would have got a cast of that, but there's just been a lot of interesting things going on down there. This is George Washington National Forest. Now, I know Dan did another one just recently down there. It was in a different location in those same forest. I didn't get to go. I was having car trouble, but I guess we're going to be doing another one here in May in the same location. So I'm hoping to make it to that. But we also did one in PA last year, or this past year, which was very interesting because it started me into the spiritual side of things that I have never looked into, or that I've always understood, but I never looked into it. But I personally experienced some spiritual things on that investigation. Really opened my mind. I never expected any of that.
Right.
And then it wasn't long after that Christy and I met, and we had an event here at the house where I had a shapeshifter in the backyard. Right here on the hillside, right on the edge of the woods, So it's just, when you go out there, obviously you've got to keep an open mind, because if you're out there just looking for Bigfoot, then, and you're not going to find anything, sometimes something else is going to present itself and you don't even realize it. And that's what happened. So you definitely got to keep an open mind when you're going out.
Yeah.
I never in a million years expected to find the things that we did. It was all new to me, but it was a great experience. I was able to see an actual spirit arm behind of a tree up in Pennsylvania mountains. That blew my mind. And because the girls that were there, they were like, "Oh, we just saw this white figure of a Bigfoot just go walking through and went behind that tree." And then I looked down there, and all I saw was this hand and arm come out from behind the tree. And I'm like, "Did I just see that?" They're like, "Yeah." So that was just the beginning of everything that happened down there. It was, or up there, actually. It's up for me. It was so much spiritual stuff. It was so new. And I've always been interested, and that's why I've been talking to William about this, of Native American culture.
So there in the chat about.
I can't hear you.
Melissa wants to know: are you going back to Virginia?
It's in the chat. It's a question, is all.
Back to Virginia, what?
Bigfoot Con in this spring.
Absolutely, I'm the MC again. So I'll definitely be there for that. So will Christy. Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to get on that Virginia camp in the spring. I know there's been invites to a couple other ones like Salt Fork. I want to get back up into the PA mountains on the different part of Mount Davis where I used to investigate years ago, where I've actually found Native American burial grounds. I want to investigate that a little bit more now that I have more knowledge of what I was looking at. I actually had Native American burial grounds back here behind me in these woods. I went back there looking for them, and all I could find was desecration. There was limestone everywhere, and there was footprints around it, and you could see where somebody had dug stuff up. Like there used to be burial grounds back there. And some of the other things that we've been looking into is the Native American culture that was in this area. I live right down over the hill in the valley from Route 40, which is a national pike that goes across the country whenever the settlers were coming through here. And there's actually a trail, which is not seen today, but there was a trail where the Native Americans would travel to stay away from the commoners, which would travel Route 40.
Right.
And so, there was battles all through here. Being that 15 minutes away was a family farm, George Washington and his troops actually built the farmhouse I grew up in. There's a burial grounds on the top of the hill with actually has relatives of mine buried in it. We couldn't find it because the neighbor had a scrapyard up there, and we lost track of it. There's a lot of history in this area that you know is conjunction with the Native American cultures. Route 40 celebrates that a little bit because we have the steam show right up over top the hill from us, and I've really been reaching towards that Native American background because there's so much tying to the Bigfoots. People have asked, what do you think they are? They come from all different realms of things, you know. There's a Native American culture there.
Yeah, they
and there's a UFO sightings with Bigfoots. There's paranormal, there's dimensional, you know, there's a lot of different aspects of it that people have been reaching for to find out exactly what it is. I mean, it's just like humankind. You know, we have different cultures, we have different nationalities. What's to say that they don't too? And each one could be able to do a different thing.
Yeah. Well, we just had an encounter Saturday out here on my place.
Oh.
DA Roberts and me did. Yeah, we was out unloading his son's truck because I'm going to work on it. Excuse me. So I was showing a couple things, and I had a thermal hit the other day. I was a couple weeks prior, I'd seen something run through the woods between my drive and the field, something roughly about 9 foot tall and black go darting through my woods. And I've been hearing a lot of activity in that same area. And this is used to be when my folks were still here. You know, my mom sadly is no longer with us, and my dad moved away, and I bought the property. But they used to hoop at me every morning when they were in the area from these same woods. So we was hearing some activity out there. I don't have the thermal uploaded. I could upload it, but I caught it. Well, I sent it to William. I sent it to DA. I sent it to Jessica. Because I'm like, man, I need somebody's eyes besides myself. I need somebody that doesn't have attachments like I do here, you know, because I know what I got out here. I've been dealing with them for 32 years out here. And they all came back and said the same thing. So we were out there kind of looking around. I was like, well, look at all this rutting around that's going on there. And then that spot where we took that thermal looked like if we had one that was like, Boar, 9, Stopa. Behave. Sorry.
Our dog's wonderful.
Yeah. But that tree that I caught him standing at where he was out and then came back in, there's a bed spot right under there where they've been laying and watching. And then we're out there, we're talking, all of a sudden you hear a whoop off in the distance a little ways. So, yeah. I was like, I'm not the only one that's hearing it now. Hey, Monica.
Oh, yeah. Hello to everybody in the chat. We've been going full bore here since the start of the show, so I apologize if I didn't get to say hello to everybody. But I appreciate everybody being here, and we're going to be bringing Mr. Dennis Carroll on here pretty soon. To do a reading of the Christmas story. So, you know, it's if you can, everybody in the chat, please follow and, you know, subscribe to whatever Ron's got, Biker Bigfoot, his Facebook pages and stuff. Because he's doing a lot of good stuff, okay? And those of us that personally know him and have actually, you know, been in his presence and are used to, you know, we know his persona, okay, per se, you know, his spirit, his chi, his essence, you know. He's got a good heart and he's got good vibes, man. And he's a good person, and You know, even if he's not a good person, I'm sure that little lady of his will keep him in line. So that's no problem.
He's talking about you. He
She'll
says,
sick
even
the
if I'm
dog
not a
on
good
him.
person, you'll keep me in line. He said, you'll sick the dog on me. I'm repeating to her what you're saying because I have my earbuds in to
That's
hear
fine.
you.
That's fine.
I appreciate the compliments. I know this mission was put on my heart some years back, and it's actually been a blessing for me to be able to do the things that I'm doing with this page and being able to go to the places that I've been able to go, meeting the people that I'm meeting. It's just been a blessing. You know, you never expect a journey in your life to change gears and go this direction. And I've been loving every moment of it. You know, it's unfortunate that, people are suffering from what they are, but I am just glad that I'm able to get out there and get the word out and try to do my best to help everybody. Just going to speak about things and put stuff on Facebook and stuff like that. This is just only the beginning of what I have planned. There is so much more that I'm working on, that I'm working towards. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about it whenever I do my live on Sunday, because Sunday, the 15th, December 15th, is actually the 3rd year anniversary of my page. So my earbuds just died.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Now everybody can hear me because my earbuds died. Okay. So yeah, Sunday is going to be 3rd year anniversary. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a taste of what's going to happen Sunday. Obviously, we're going to celebrate the 3rd year anniversary. But I'm also going to go through where I started here tonight, just the beginning of what started me into what I'm doing, what's going on now, and try to give an insight of what's going to be happening for 2025. I've been working on I actually did a show a couple years ago with Dan's help at the Legion, whenever I was still involved with the Legion. That was nowhere near what I wanted, but I know Les O'Dale came. He was one of my speakers. Dan was one of the speakers. Mary Fabian was the other, and we had a few vendors. John Torelli was one of the vendors, and it was really nice to have everybody. It was a really great day, regardless of the turnout. We just really enjoyed everybody's company and getting together and stuff. Obviously Sarah and Chuck showed up because they always come to stuff that Dan and I are doing. But to bring all this forward and share with everybody, that's the whole purpose of this, and to celebrate all the members. Matter of fact, ever since I started Biker Bigfoot page just the other day, it's been maybe 4 days or 5 days, something like that. I've already got 30 people joined that page, so it's growing already. Which I know there's more out there, because there's more than that have seen me with all the places that I've been. I know
it'll take some time. It'll take some time to build it up, but those of you, I can't say it enough, that if you ever want to follow somebody on Facebook, Ron is definitely one of the individuals you want to follow, because all of his good works that he does and stuff with helping out with the unalived prevention for veterans, and his PTSD assistance for veterans and people in general that suffer from PTSD, because it is pretty prominent, especially nowadays more than ever. So, but yeah, he is one to follow if you can, and put the word out to follow him too, because long after I'm gone, you know, him and Eric and Daniel and David and the rest of them are going to be here to, and of course my little brother Ryan and also Angelique. They're all going to be here to carry it on, what we do, you know, as far as helping one another out and you know, being part of that extended family. So, and that's pretty much what this community is all about. You know,
Oh yeah, I'm following.
we can come together. We can talk about the weird, the unusual, the cryptids, the UFOs, the you know, the military, you know, industrial complex conspiracy stuff. You know, we can go through all the weird stuff, the Illuminati and all that. But when it comes down to it, you know, we're all and we have a name for our group, and we call our group the Weirdo Warriors. You know, and you know, that's what it is. That's literally what it is. You know, everybody that isn't into this type of discussions usually label us as weird or unusual, or you know, don't talk to that person. They're crazy. You know, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it's a topic of conversations that a lot of people don't like to have. So
Most people that know me, how weird I am.
Y'all ain't met me yet.
Embrace the abnormal, you know.
yeah.
Y'all have
Say
only
hello to
seen
my
me
little
on
friend.
this little thing here. Yeah, you guys have only seen me on this. Get me to a rally or something else. Party Eric comes out pretty quick. Party Eric likes to have fun.
Hopefully not in the kilt.
Oh, I wear my kilt at biker rallies. Yeah, I like my
Oh
kilt.
man,
My gosh.
I love wearing my kilt.
Imagine that one.
Yeah, I do.
Well-
Hey, well, never mind. We're on YouTube.
That's a rumble moment. That's a rumble
That's
moment.
a rumble. That is a rumble. No,
Oh,
I haven't
God.
been able to go to a biker rally in a couple of years, which sucks because that's my time to unwind, you know. And
Yeah.
good old Giggity comes out, and then Eric gets put away. Giggity comes out and has fun. So now that's a good
Yeah.
time, man. I like
See,
it.
Val
You know,
knows.
nothing but motorcycles. I wear
Well-
my weirdo badge. They're like, yeah. Oh, I don't have my bag on me. Yeah.
I'm gonna let.
I got all my stuff put up. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let a little bit out about what I'm planning on doing, so is that way you can make sure you get there to the show. As it's gonna be a bike rally.
Heck yeah, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm here in Missouri. I'm getting ready to have surgery here in a couple months, so I'm gonna be down for a while. Oh,
I don't know.
I want to say thank you to Ida.
Yep. Daggone Roxanne strikes again. Yes. Yes, my road name is Giggity. That's why sometimes you hear me saying giggity, 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 all right. Buddy, I love you.
This has
and
gone
I
off
missed
the
you
rails.
too. But you're being rude. Yes,
This has
I
gone
know.
off the rails.
I missed you too. I have. I don't think anybody's needy.
Oh,
Nobody's
man.
missed me today.
You got to bring Spaghetti Yeti on.
Buddy, can you wait? Can you wait a little bit? You're
Here,
being
I'll
rude.
turn the camera around so you can see you.
All right. He's sacked
Hola.
out. He's sacked out with Mama. Yeah.
Nope, you're not climbing up there. You're too big for that.
Don't climb over.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está?
No, I love you too, buddy.
And so I can tell you all the pages. I saw somebody was asking on what platform that they can find me on.
Now, come on.
Yeah.
You're being rude.
Yeah. You go ahead and you can. I don't know if you have the ability to put it in the chat, but if you can put your links and stuff in the chat, you're more than welcome to.
I can't get my computer to over to Facebook for some reason. I don't know why, but Okay, I'll start with my page, Ron House. I just opened it up to a professional thing, so you can actually follow me now. My next page would be Believe in Yourself, Fight Against PTSD, and you'll actually see the back of my vest is my picture. And yes, I had a vest made for my biker Bigfoot. It looks professional bikers gangs, the upper and lower rockers.
There's no such thing.
It's all capital letters. Believe in
What
yourself.
is it again?
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Letters, and then it's Fight Against PTSD, and you'll see the words and a flag in my picture. And the flag is actually all of the different entities, whether it's military, police, fire, EMT, different colors with each one. You'll see that on there. And that's actually the back of my vest. I had that custom made for me to wear. I can't see it. That looks like it.
Okay, sweet. I'll follow that. I'm following your your personal account.
Does it say?
Now here's the question, Ron. Here's the question. Okay,
Yeah.
This is a question, and maybe Mama can answer it too, though. When are you guys going to have Spaghetti Yeti's own channel?
Oh, he already has one.
Yeah, he has two.
There you go. Okay, well let's get that out there too.
Spaghetti Yeti Leo on Instagram
And Facebook.
and
Okay,
Facebook.
Spaghetti Yeti Leo. All right.
I
On
gotta try to remember
Instagram,
that.
everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, I'm on that one.
This stuff to our page.
Yeah, we have to our own personal pages so we can get it out there a little bit too. So you'll see it out there. That's probably how you know about
Okay,
it. Huh?
good.
Well, I guess
yeah.
I can't spell it redneck though.
Yes. My other page is Biker Bigfoot, and obviously there was a picture of me in costume with the bike. That picture was actually taken by Christy whenever we were down in Sutton this year,
In front of it.
right in front of her booth and her friend Dave's booth. And that was actually the first show that we got together. So, and also the next show that we do down there, we're hoping to have everything settled by then that we're going to actually get married at that show. So that's another
Awesome.
little filler that I'm letting out.
Yeah.
But and that's
Wow.
that's another part.
I do Native American weddings.
I know we discussed that. I always wanted a traditional Scottish wedding, but we're going to go with the whole Bigfoot theme because we actually had the Bigfoot thing and we're both into Bigfoot. So that, that was the theme that we're going to go with. I mean, we're dressing traditionally, but
Maybe.
maybe. Maybe.
Dude,
But,
did you seriously have
first
to do that?
is doing
The officiant.
the officiant is actually in costume. So, because
He's
they,
a really good friend of mine.
it's actually a
Okay.
friend of mine. It's kind of funny,
All right, cool.
we've both been in this field that we've never ran into each other before, but we've been running the same circuit.
It wasn't meant to be until now. Yeah, It
Exactly.
wasn't meant to be until it was meant to be, I mean, it's just the way it is, and I tell people that all the time too, that, if you take any advice from me, just, do what I tell people to do all the time, just if you want to connect to things and you want to have things interact with you through the environment and through wildlife and all that, you want to get close to Mother Earth. You want to be in tune with her. So take your shoes, your socks off. That means walk around in the grass and the woods and all that for a little bit, as much as you can, curl your toes up in the mud and the grass, and just feel that heartbeat from her, because I'm telling you, you're going to connect to a lot more than just the environment. You're going to connect to a lot of the environmental spirits, what we call elementals. You're going to connect to a lot of wildlife. You're going to probably even meet your totem animals. So, there's so much, and we're going to get into that topic too here in the last hour of the show today too. Ron, it's been a pleasure having you on, brother. It really has.
It's always a pleasure. Ever since I've learned about you, we started talking and stuff. I've always had a reaching for my Native American culture, and I love having brothers in that culture that I can talk to and share and learn. It's another thing that I haven't told a whole lot of people, but whenever I was in the Legion, the commander above me, the man that she was with whenever I first joined there, he was Native American, a veteran also. And I told him, I want to do a show where I incorporate the Native American culture into, and I'm still reaching for that.
Mhm.
I'm still reaching out and trying to get that together. That's why it's taken me so long to get my show together, because I have such an eclectic group of things that I want to bring to the table. And the first time's a huge thing that it's going to blow up so big that, I'm not going to know what to do with myself, but just enjoy.
Right.
When I told him that
Yep.
he just was in awe over the fact that I said this, because I actually do have another page that got lost in Facebook. It's what is it? Southwestern Pennsylvania Native Americans, and it's towards the Code Talkers, because that is a lost thing in the military. They didn't get celebrated. They helped win that war. So, I want to bring that out on top of everything else. As I say, I have my feet dangling in so much deep water with some different things. It's taken me time to get things to where I want it to be. So it's just going to be a flawless show. I don't want to bring something to the table and everybody's like, I ain't going back there because this guy doesn't know what he's doing. No, I've been paying attention where I go. I've been digging in deep. Christy and I have collaborated. She's been on a different aspect of things, being that she's a vendor. She's told me her side of everything, and it's really nice. That's another thing that I love about this. When we first met, we became friends. It was at a show that I was helping Dan with, and then we later talked again, and then we finally came to the conclusion that we were interested in each other, and we were going to start being together, and we talked about the idea, the fact that I'm a speaker, I'm an investigator, I'm a promoter, and I'm out there doing what I'm doing. She's going to these shows, and she's a vendor, and I didn't think of it this way. I mean, I know as a promoter and somebody that's running a show, we need vendors to have a show.
Mm-hmm.
But vendors need
true.
us to go to make their money. So it's just like when we came together, she put something into my head that I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. It was a change for both sides of this, because we brought so many people together with our union. It was so exciting for a lot of her friends, because they were like, oh my gosh, you're dating this guy, and he's who he is, and he goes around and he's all friends with these people, and he's also a Bigfoot. I never really thought of myself in that manner. I'm just out there trying to, spread my message and enjoy myself and try to let other people enjoy. But when she put it in that perspective, I was like, oh my gosh, like I never thought of it like that. But I'm glad that she bring that to me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was the winds of fate bringing you guys together and making that connection. And now you've got the opportunity to help so many, and my hat's off to you, brother. So my hat's off to you.
She, all of her friends are going to follow. The fellow vendors of hers. It's going to be great, and it's going to be her show too. So,
yeah.
And a good thing too about a show or an event, any type of event really, a vendor and the band is going to make or break that event. So, I mean, you get the right combination
Yep.
of vendors, you get the right bands in that situation. That's going to determine if you have a good show or not.
That's exactly what I've been studying.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've got to find out what's happening to our good brother Dennis. Hopefully he'll be able to make it on. Wouldn't be a Christmas show without him. But yeah, Ron, you're amazing. You're a dear brother of mine, and next time we get together, we'll probably videotape it, and we'll do a few things together, and I'll show you a few things, and maybe even we'll go out and do a few whoops and a few howls together and see what we can kick up.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right,
howling
brother.
at
Well,
the
thank
moon.
you. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it so much, man. Give my love to the family and give that big four-legged son of yours a big old bear hug.
Always.
All right, man. All right. Love you, brother.
Love you.
See you, buddy.
We'll talk to you later, man.
All right, good night.
You're being
Good night.
needy,
Merry
dude.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Al.
Oh. I'll tell you what, he is amazing. I'm telling you guys, you won't be able to follow a nicer guy. I mean, he has got
No.
so much. You really, it's amazing, and he helps out so many people that suffer from PTSD and and suffer from that anxiety or depression type of a thing, scenarios. So follow him, man. He's top notch, man. You're not going to find anybody better. I swear you won't.
Got the hiccup. Yeah, I couldn't find the spaghetti yeti, so I gotta keep looking. You got the hiccups. Come on, dude. Behave. You're being a butt. He wasn't nearly as
Anyways, we got to figure out.
as on his Facebook
We got to
page.
figure out when we got to figure out where Dennis is. Let me see if I can message him on here too. I'll have to open up the Facebook page and see if I can get him in Messenger here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, right. Heck yeah. While you're doing that, I'm still trying to
look up. He might be having a problem.
He could be. He could be.
Go right ahead, folks. Look up Spaghetti Yeti.
Out. Stop.
Let's
9.
see.
Stop up. I can put one announcement. So it does look like that DA and I will be doing the paranormal investigation of the Springfield Commercial Club around January 10th. I cannot promise that I can go live. If there's a way that I can figure it out, I will. If not, it'll be like my other ones where I have to record it. I'm still working out logistics on being able to go live and be able to do my investigation at the same time, because I don't want to take away from the investigation as well. So emails have been sent. Everything else is going out. So looking around January 10th is when we'll be doing that paranormal investigation.
Oh, let's see.
Now I found it.
Gone.
Gong, 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 gong.
Awesome.
There's your Christmas song. Yeah. He's got some great stuff on there. All right, I know you
he
hear
does.
me. I found it.
And I'm telling you.
Yeti finally. Yeah.
We're gonna have to put him up here and get him as many followers as we can. We're gonna make Spaghetti Yeti famous and Biker Big famous.
I'm gonna have to get you on my show one day, Ron. We're gonna get you out there. We're gonna get you out to the world, baby. Oh man. Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. I'm gonna pop him back up real quick. What's that, Ron?
I was trying to find on Facebook on my computer. I'm having trouble, but I over, but you found it.
Yeah, I finally found it. Don't speak redneck. Facebook don't like redneck.
I know.
That's the day. But yeah, I finally found it. Hey, Bounds, I got you on here. I'm gonna have to hit you up on Messenger one day. I'm gonna
we're gonna
you
get
on my show.
I don't know. I tried to message. I tried to message wrong. I tried to message Dennis, and I can't. Didn't get a reply. Yeah, I didn't get a reply. So,
yeah, I found it.
Bring Mr. Ryan Paul Tremblay on.
Yeah, Ryan, you want to come on? In there talking mad skittles against my education.
Get Ryan on here.
I'm still in.
Huh?
I'm still in. Who put that up? Read it.
I did. I'm gonna pop you back down because we couldn't hear you.
Okay.
Give me a second here. There we go. Alexa doesn't speak redneck. No, it does not. We learned that lesson the hard way, didn't we? Uh-oh. You popped yourself back up this time.
Yeah. I open up my screen better, but it's not. Oh, it's messing with me.
It don't like redneck.
All righty. There's Ryan. There's
It's
Ryan.
the man, the myth, the legend,
There's
Mr.
Ryan.
Godzilla Tokyo himself, Ryan Paul Tremblay.
Nice intro, Eric. I like
There
it.
he is. Merry Christmas.
I got you, bro.
Merry Christmas, big brother. How's everybody doing?
I'm tired. I still got 2 more days of work, too.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. 2 more days, huh?
Yeah, I work 4 10s. So it's nice. I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So when it gets to doing investigations, that's handy because I'm off on the weekends where I need to do it. So
got the Christmas Godzilla right here. Check it out.
Yes. Yes. I love that. And the OG Godzilla at that.
Check that out. He's holding a candy cane, too.
Dude. I like it a lot. Yeah, I was getting caught up on your Batman comment.
I had to make that joke.
Dude. I seen what was they doing? Batman Robin, or they were singing that song to it was some kind of cartoon, and Batman Robin comes and whoops their butts. Yeah, Roxanne keep bragging about it. I still got 10 years before I can retire if everything works out right.
Oh, we got Angelique Venom in the chat. Huh? Where'd William go?
Yep. William,
William,
dropped yourself down. Uh-oh. I thought I had that on vibrate, and I did not. There he is.
All right.
Oh, he's back.
And Thriller's in the chat. Thriller night.
Don't even get started, dude. Don't. I'll start singing that all night, man. I'll be so mad at you.
It's stuck in my head. Every time I see his name, I start thinking about that. Yep. Buddy, you are being very pushy today.
I think Ron's computer's messing with him.
Uh-oh. What's going on with this computer?
I think he was on. Yeah. Now, come on. 9. Stopa. Good boys. Trying to get him to learn.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if it's solar flares tonight or what, but it's something going on. They don't want us to have
Dude, I went to get on my show and I
sure.
the little
They've
thing
been messing with us all night.
My password. Yeah. I popped up put my password in and it just froze. I had to do a hard reset.
That's StreamYard for you,
like,
man.
dude.
StreamYard's been acting crazy.
No, that's my
Mhm.
computer.
Oh,
I've
you
always
got an
put my
old
computer in sleep mode.
Hmm.
What do
Ooh.
I have? Dell.
Oh, you know the old joke about you got a Dell, right? It's dude, you got dealt
Oh.
with.
Yeah. I made that mistake. It was in the price range at the time. I'm hoping this tax season I can get me one that I can start building myself, get me something more that runs faster. This thing runs so
Nice.
daggone slow. It's aggravating as hell. I've looked, I get the basic setup for about $749.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well,
So
first I got to get a
I don't think
pontoon.
it's Ron's computer. I think it's the internet. I
it
think
could
it's
be. It
StreamYard.
could be the internet. Yeah.
He may not know how to leave the stage on the cell phone. That's a little different on the cell phone, ain't it?
Try adding him again.
Hey, Ron, just for a
No,
second,
it's-
you're going to be back up on the
it's
big
StreamYard.
screen.
Okay.
It's StreamYard, yeah.
So, is it? Okay, yeah. Okay,
I got-
I'm going to pop you back
It's
down.
got to be StreamYard
Computer,
because now
but
I'm glitching. I feel like I'm a glitch.
Uh-oh.
All right. I'll drop you back down. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
What was that movie off of? Now I forgot. Damn, no, that stuck in my head.
That was
But,
Friday.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Friday.
I got
Mhm.
stuck in my head at work today. And one of my new guys, oh my God, it was funny.
Now what's
I came
going
up to a sign. I was like,
on?
he came up to his sign and he goes, it was like, this don't look right. I mean, the
Oh.
sign was like extremely low. I'm like, who did this? And I looked it up and seen who did this. I was like, okay, I'll fix it. And get back and we're talking about it. Next thing you know, I hear, bye, Felicia. I was like, oh shit, now that's stuck in my head.
Yep, that's from Friday. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but no, it's been one of those days. Then I had to rush to town to get my daughter and rush back here. And then, but yes, no. Yeah, I got some things to do. Get some things set up for in a couple weeks to go do that paranormal investigation. So I'm going to have another busy weekend. I'm going to
Very
be nice about what you said about here, Brian. But yeah, I want to get everything because it's weird. Like I can do a cryptid investigation.
Sure.
My equipment runs great. Don't have an issue. Flawless.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Anytime I do paranormal investigation, either formatting's wrong or my night vision gets turned off or my devices get turned off every single freaking time. So I'm like, man, so I just got to get in the habit now where every time I go do one of those, I got to preset everything, which I did last time and it still didn't work.
Well, with the paranormal, though, man, you're dealing with energies and whatnot, dude. I'm not surprised that your gear craps out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's funny as hell, man. It really is. Now the volume on my video, which really sucks. That's why I haven't posted yet. It's because I got a new camera, and
Mhm.
okay, still, I got a new camera, and I forgot that on this one here, I've got to turn my mic on and off. So I'm filming all night, filming all sorts of stuff this at the castle. Not a stitch of sound. It's like,
Oh no, I've
yeah,
done
it's
that
like,
before.
Yeah. I can try stitching the 360 to it, which is going to be a little off kiltered. Or I was like, man, I'll just chalk this up because I'm going to go back and do another investigation here, just get a better video. And I'm
Right.
trying to get different software to create better videos, and I was having issues with that. So I'm just like, man, the other day I had to step away. I was like, I'm getting too
It
agitated.
gets aggravating, dude. Yeah, it gets really aggravating after a while. 100%.
Did you see that? Did you see that thermal capture I caught?
I did. Yes, I did.
Dude,
That was interesting.
that was some of the best thermal I've caught in a while. That was a good
Yeah.
thermal. Ooh,
That was
house.
good. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
And in fact, we found a bedding right next to where that was, where they'd been laying down underneath that stuff and watching me too. That's like,
Ooh.
oh. We've been having
Very
a lot of activity out here. So
That's cool, man. I wonder if it's the winter season, dude. I
Well,
wonder if that's why they're
that's weird. That's weird. It used to be they only came here mid to late fall to early
Okay.
to mid spring.
Mhm.
And that was back when my mom and dad was still here. Now that mom's,
Ooh.
you know,
Hmm.
no longer with us and dad's moved away, I get activity all year round.
Mhm.
So I was thinking about that the other day.
Interesting.
I know a lot of people will tell you with their long hair they can't stand the heat, but then I get to thinking, look how many animals in nature have long hair and they still survive in the heat. I guarantee you the the hottest part of the day they're running to the caves, but they're still going to be active.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just
Yeah,
like anything else
absolutely.
out in nature is going to do. So
Yep.
I've been thinking about that for the last few days. It's like, man, to me that makes more sense than anything because I got to look at it in a scientific way. And the scientific way is you got to look at biology and nature. Animals have scales, fur,
Mhm.
or feathers. So either way you look at it, they got some other type of skin on them. They
Sure.
still are active in the heat just as well as
Mhm.
any. Now, some things, yes, they hibernate, but bears are out in the winter. They're in the summer.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Deer,
yeah.
coon,
Yep.
groundhog, whatever. I mean, and they all find a place to cool off when it's the hot part, like we do. We do the same thing. So that's
Mhm.
why I've always that's why the last few days I got thinking is like this would explain because I've got so many caves. Man, I'm here in Missouri. We got caves
Mhm.
all over the daggone place. I got a cave just right, not even an eighth mile from my house.
Nice.
Along the
dude.
Niagara River. So
Mhm.
I mean, you got a cave there along the Niagara River. The hottest part of the day, you got water and a cool cave source. It's roughly 62 degrees year round.
You know.
Makes sense why they're here. Long hair cools you. In Sweat Lodge, I use my hair to cool my eyes. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's. Oh, I've seen something here I just didn't notice.
What you looking for?
Oh, never mind. I just seen a private chat I didn't know was up there. But that's why I kind of, my brain gets to tumbling, and it's just how my brain works, especially like right now when I'm driving roads because I had to put the two projects to the side because I haven't been running my area as much as I usually do. So right now I'm running my area, finding things that's wrong. Well, when I'm doing that, my brain just gets to going. It gets to going, and I get on topics. That's you get on topics when you're connecting giants and vampires to Lilith and all this. And then that's my brain at work. So of course I look over because I'm in. Yeah, and I work for the county, so I'm out there all day long. Come on, if you want to. Oh, is your stuff still not working yet, William?
What's going on, brother William? I can help probably. Oh, if you see a dog butt in the background, Duke's right there.
Yeah, I see. Duke, what's up, homie G?
He's just making himself
Look
comfortable.
at my booty. Yeah, I've got two of them running around my feet right now. I still can't hear William.
What are you doing? You gotta stay there, buddy. No, he's coming over. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you started it.
I did. I did. Yeah.
Yeah. But so no, I mean I like it because I'm out in the country all day long. So I mean I love that stuff. I see all sorts of interesting.
Eric, it's interesting because here in Arizona, I've taken a lot of Bigfoot reports, and most of them are during the day, during the hottest part of the day. So I'm kind of wondering what's up with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look at New Mexico with Jesus Payon Jr. He gets stuff there. I mean, that's desert stuff too. I mean, hey, Angelique's coming in. So I mean, this is why. Brian William dropped down. This is why I've always found it interesting. Is like I can't grasp the theory of they're only out in a cold climate because of long hair because that biologically it does not make sense.
No,
and that's just on a biological level. It don't make sense.
Well, I mean, you got to look at their diet. You got to look at their diet too, though. If they're eating things like elk or bear or whatever, that's high in fat. Okay, so they're absorbing that fat into their body. That's going to keep them warm during the colder seasons. And it's going to burn off pretty quick
Mhm.
in the summertime. That's why animals are skinnier during the summer. So, because they're having a hard time maintaining that fat. And hello, Miss Angelique. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, Angela.
How you doing?
Hi.
William will be right back. He's got a reboot. I know what that's
Yep.
like. I had to do that. So,
Mhm.
who's got the
That's
best name or nickname for their dog? Well, I mean, you got Numbnuts and you got Rat Dog and Taco here at my house. Well, taco meat people
Oh,
in the
nice.
city.
I call Duke Bubba. I don't know why. It's not even his name, but I call him Bubba all the time. It doesn't make any
What's
sense,
yours?
but
I used to call mine Poop Head.
We used to have a cat we called Buford P. Kumquat, also AKA Kumquat Kid. And that cat was he was a Siamese. He was a Siamese, and that cat was a daggone hoot because he would hide under things. Wait till you walk by, rush out, ambush your feet, and then run back under there so you couldn't get to him. Oh my God, licky lips.
ridiculous. That's a good one. That is a very good one.
We got dumpling and taters, Sabot and sabotage. Licky lips is I have to give that one. Yeah, that's a good one. And then
Whiny
the girl's
butt's
got
pretty good.
Gus is called Gus the Bus. Whiny butt for mine. Oops. I had Hubba Hubba. I can see that, Poncho. I can so see that, buddy. William, is yours still not working, bud? I could see you. Oh, and then he went blank.
Uh-oh.
Huh. Uh-oh.
The powers that be don't want
I don't
William
know.
on tonight.
Uh-oh.
Dude, it is the thing that shall not be mentioned.
Oh, you notice Duke
They'll
sits right
turn
here where
little
everybody can see him. See?
Oh, no, yeah. No, you see what crawls in my lap all the time.
He's just trying to
Until
steal
he
the
gets to
spot.
moving around too much. But now today, because Numbnuts ain't sit there and see me all day, he's just as bad as freaking Rat Dog when it comes to doing that. And I've got two dogs fighting for affection. I'm like, I'm in a chair. So, and if I sit in my fat guy comfy chair, then I'll have Boar will be sitting there between my legs with his head on my stomach. Snow is usually under the covers beside me, and then I'll have a cat on my chest and a cat on my side and a cat on my freaking head deal. I'm like,
wow,
this is supposed to be my comfy chair, and I can't even move.
That's cute.
Sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're right. That's a natural thing. Sabotage, because he's tried to kill me 3 times, and he's 3 years old. I had an age to survive. Oh my God! Yeah.
Nice.
What?
Nice.
Tim wants to know, Poncho, what breed was Hubba? Hubba.
Hubba.
Yeah. Sorry, had to answer something real quick.
Ooh.
William, is your sound working again?
William, come back to us, William.
Don't go to the light, William. Come to the flashy stuff. We have disco.
They-
Oi. There he goes. Another movie reference.
Yep. Poltergeist.
No. Disco. Oi. Disco. Oi. You don't remember that one?
No, I do not.
I'll give you a hint. Adam Sandler. I'll give you hints. And Adam Sandler's.
Okay.
He's a barber.
Oh, I haven't seen that one though. I know what one it is, but I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that? Oh, yeah, that's in that one.
No.
So, hun. Well, William's sound was working. We still got you, bro. that was scaring my butt. That was pure entertainment, Roxanne. Brought to you
Oh
for free.
no.
No.
William's gonna leave his own show. What?
No.
William, you have
Is
to come
this
back
still
up here. I demand it. Are there too many people on StreamYard right now, maybe?
I don't know. It might be.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
think
Dude.
I don't know. The only time I've ever done multiples was on Talk Studios. I'm not sure. Internet's freezing up on him.
Yep.
Yeah. I need to get rich and famous and get me and him some Starlink. Of course, that always scares me too, because I keep thinking every time I think of Starlink, I'm thinking of Skynet, and then I'm thinking Terminators, and I'm thinking, crap, now I gotta get something to take out a Terminator. Yeah.
Man,
brain.
with the way that AI is going right now, dude, I would not be surprised if Terminator became a reality.
Not a joke.
With what Japanese are building right now, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. I mean, they're mapping a human brain and installing it into androids as a way to extend your life. So they literally record a person's brain. They do that. So, yeah.
You know, just because we can do something doesn't mean that we should do something.
Yeah. Roxanne wants to know, how long do you want me to keep this going, William? Angelique, you have a cold? Roxanne wants to know.
Yes, I do. I have a pretty bad one.
Oh no!
You know the best cure for a cold? And this is no joke. Best cure for a cold. Get some of the strongest whiskey you can get, and get about a shot to 2 shots of that. Depending on how much you drink, start off with a shot. Put a tablespoon of ground ginger in it, a tablespoon of honey, and some lemon, about a shot of lemon juice. Now, you can drink it straight up like that, or you can mix it with green tea to add to it as well. I like to mix it with green tea because green tea's got a lot of good healthy stuff with it as well. Mix that up, get under your covers, and sweat it out.
Yep.
The ground ginger is the key, but all the rest of the stuff works too. But the ground ginger is the key that makes it work. People don't realize that, and they forget to put the ground ginger in it. It don't work as good unless you have the ground ginger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they did, Tim. So, man, it sucks that William's internet's freezing up. Just want to let everyone wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I'll work the chat. All right. Okay, bro. Well, I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot toddy, Roxy. Oh, sorry. Cooked right. Yes, hot toddy. Yeah, hot toddies, man. I rarely go to the doctor. If I go to doctors, because it's something I can't handle myself. Now I have to pop the top. I'll be back in a sec. Hey, I drank my adult orange juice already. My adult orange juice is gone. I needed something to warm the bones. Yeah, Effort's internet's been acting up today too. So, but yeah, Christmas time. What cryptids or paranormal do we have in the Christmas? I'm thinking Krampus. And
Well,
actually,
I mean,
what
is he really a cryptid though? Because I mean, by definition, a cryptid is an undiscovered, unverified animal. So
he's more supernatural. Krampus is more supernatural, which is actually where the basis of Santa Claus came from, was actually Krampus, but he's supernatural. Yeah. I mean, and you got the big W.
I don't want to bring any bad luck, but yeah, wintertime's the Wendigo. So
yeah. So I mean, when it comes to, I mean, that's 2 supernatural things right there. You know. Yes, man. I hate hearing that. I'll let you work the chats, William. I didn't think about that, and I've been working it. So you got them 2 things there, which, you know, I'm a little rusty on Krampus, but I believe Krampus comes and steals things in wintertime if you're naughty, if I remember correctly.
He comes and gets you if you're naughty, man. If you're a misbehaved
right,
kid,
yeah.
he's gonna throw you in his sack and bring you back to his little fort there. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I
a
remember
gnarly little
Dude, he is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember him being half goat and half demon. I remember that part, but I remember him being associated with red as well.
Mhm.
Excuse you. That was rude. Don't play pretty to me. That was rude. Sorry. But I mean, so you got that. I mean, and so I've done a Christmas special last year,
Mhm.
where I did a video explaining, how Christmas actually came about. A lot of people don't realize this wasn't the actual year that Jesus, Yeshua was born, the time of year he was actually born. The sheep and stuff were still out in the field, so it was like summer fall time frame. They hadn't brought the sheep back in from the fields yet. But you got a lot of stuff which is tied to Norse mythology, stuff tied to Russian and German, I believe, which all melted together to become what we know of as Christmas.
Mhm.
And there was actually a Kris Kringle, but it wasn't Kris Kringle. It was something else Kringle. Now I forgot what that is off the top of my head. And but from that entity, through old religions, he was a spirit, and I can't remember everything about him off the top of my head. It's been a while since I looked it up. But anyways, from that basis is where they derived Kris Kringle from, and I believe that Kris Kringle comes. I have to look it up, man. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I mean, in wintertime, you really have mainly paranormal stuff that people think about, or supernatural stuff. Because
Definitely.
you got, you can't. I mean, you can't leave out the big W. I mean, this is his time of year to shine. It really is his time of year to shine.
Mhm.
Which is
Well, I mean, winter
scary
times
as
when
hell.
the starvation rate goes up, so that's when cannibalism becomes more of a thing. So Wendigo becomes more feared in colder seasons.
Mm-hmm. I need to actually. I could pop that up because that's bugging me. I cannot remember.
Uh-oh.
It's hard. Down there, mine. I can't type with a dog in my arm. Trying to type and do that at the same time. It's interesting doing that one-handed. Which I'm gonna have to do here in a few months.
Just do the one finger shuffle.
Dude, I chicken pecked for years, but it was usually 2-finger chicken pecking. I'm finally getting to where I can kind of do this now. My hillbilliness is kind of upgraded,
Your
I
hillbilliness.
I went from Padawan to knight, so I can do a little bit more, man. I'm a hillbilly knight instead of a hillbilly Padawan. This ain't quite reached master stage yet.
Not yet, huh?
No, I'll try one of these days.
So you're on this council, but we don't give you the rank of master?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. Be careful because we know what happened last time that they did that.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. Let's see if I can type this somewhat quick. I can use 2 fingers with one hand. Woo!
Oh, you're gifted now. Mad skill, bro.
Told you, I'm at the knight level. I'm not master yet, but I'm above Padawan. Oh, it originated from Denmark. Okay, I knew it had something to do with Germanic. Kringle, a flaky. Oh no, never mind. That wasn't the one I was thinking it was.
Uh-oh.
Wrong Kringle. I might just bring. Oh, okay, here we go.
What was Krampus's sidekick? I didn't know he had a sidekick, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That's new to me.
Maybe it was a chicken.
I can see that actually.
Oh, that's what it is. The origins of Kris Kringle and Santa Claus can be traced back to the legendary figure of St. Nicholas, as well as the Christmas tradition and folklore.
Okay.
The name Kris Kringle comes from the German. That's why I was thinking German. Okay, from the German word Christkindl, which means Christ child. During the Protestant Reformation, Protestants in Europe tried to move away from the connection between Saint Nicholas, and Christmas, and instead promoted Jesus as the gift giver. The character of Christkindl was introduced in the 16th century as an alternative to Saint Nicholas. German immigrants brought the tradition to America, where the name evolved into Kris Kringle and eventually became synonymous with Santa Claus.
That makes a lot of sense.
The idea of the figure delivery gifts to children on Christmas Eve may have come from Norse folklore. In Norse mythology, Odin, the god of winter and magic, would leave gifts to children during midwinter. So that's where that came from. Had a
That's
witch
interesting.
sidekick, but I can't remember the name. William. Yeah,
I think Poncho already got the answer to that, though.
Banner or Rohan. Sorry, little Lord of the Rings.
From Lord of the Rings.
Second. Yeah, Rohan. That came out for me for a second. Yeah, but I don't. This banner. Where have I heard that before? That does sound familiar.
I don't even know how to pronounce that, let alone what it is.
Let me look that up. Man, that sounds familiar. Why do I know that? It sucks because I'll forget things, and then it'll bug me and bug me and bug me until I can look it up and go, oh, okay, that's why. Scabanner are straw-covered figures that appear in the St. Nicholas play in Bad Mittendorf, an alpine town in Austria. The name Scabanner roughly translates to sweepers.
Interesting.
The other creatures besides them are Scabiners or wild men, who are known to come around small isolated villages. Krampus most certainly originated from pre-Christian Germanic paganism. I hate that word. And his name derived from the German word Krampen, which means claw.
Okay, interesting.
That's where the claw part of Santa Claus came from. That's what I was thinking. I remember that now. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's some Scabanners.
Very interesting.
Be careful, no bad juju needed in the stocking. Yeah, no kidding. Although coal would be kind of nice right now. I could throw it in the fire. Yeah. Start up the barbecue. I gotta get a new barbecue grill.
Hey, just to answer Poncho. Yes, I am in a Jeep.
I figured as much. I seen the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time I was looking at it, looks like that top may came off, and then I kept thinking the song "Pop the Top" again.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had stayed home, there's just too many people in the house and it's too loud. Yeah. So I just came out here to my to my Jeep.
You know,
actually, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. That is really interesting because, well, I mean, Krampus is known being half goat and half demon. What is them freaking deals in Greek mythology? It's half goat.
Satyrs. Satyrs.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you got those. You got.
Well, no, hold on, though. Hold on. Man. So Krampus steals you and puts you in his sack, right? That sounds a lot like the Zuniquat, the basket ogress, the one that would steal children, put them in her basket, take them back to her cave to eat them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So would Spearfingers too.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Yeah, so
over
you-
on the reservation that I grew up on, there's been many people who've seen what they call the goat man out in the prairie at night, usually crossing the road. But there's been people that I've known personally who've had encounters with it, and they said it looks just like half goat, half man, and it comes with bad medicine.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
There was something I was listening to the other day, and they were describing something, and I was like, "Man, that makes perfect sense for the goat man." In all
Mhm.
honesty, and now I've really brain farted. Who I don't remember who was talking about it, but they're describing this creature, and it's from ancient times. And I was like, "Dude, that fits goat man to the T." And now I can't remember what it is. My brain went a completely different direction.
Well, did you ever hear the
Yeah.
origin of Goatman, though? I mean, that's one entity that has like 3 different origins.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you got Seder. You have to put Seder in that. I mean,
Yeah,
you'd
but one of
have
the
to.
origins, though, is that he was actually a slave. He was a slave that was tending goats, and he did some stuff that they saw as a crime, so they actually hung him, and they decapitated a goat and put the head of the goat on him. And that's allegedly
Mhm.
where
That's horrible.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Now that song is going to be stuck in my noggin.
Way to go, Poncho. Way to go.
Your love is like bad medicine. I love Bon Jovi, man. Look at me like that. No, I don't want to. No.
That's funny.
Look, they try to be innocent. You're not it. You're the farthest thing from innocent, dude.
Oh.
You're gonna fall asleep doing that. Oh, buddy. He doesn't get active until I get home. You think about every cryptid to be. Yeah, go ahead. And legend.
Going back to the goat man thing on the reservation, my son and I actually saw something both at the identical time. He was about 16 and we were going up over the pass, and it was out in the middle of the wilderness, and it was a mountain called Bridge Creek over on the Colville Res where we've lived. And there was a herd of elk on the side of the road. Well, my son was 16 and I was having him drive so he'd get used to driving at night. And it was just getting dusk, so it was still light enough to be able to see, but it was headed to dark. And he slowed down for this herd of elk, and there was an elk that had, and I swear we both saw it at the same time, it had like a person's upper body, real ratty looking head and face. It was really, really, really spooky looking, and we both saw it at the same time, and just glimpsed it as he was driving past it in this herd of elk, and it reached up and was grabbing a branch with his hand just like a person would, but and I say he because it didn't have breasts, it had a flat chest like a man would have, but his hair was all really, really ratty and matted, and his eyes were just jet black. I mean, there was nothing that looked like it had the whites of his eye. And my son he turned and he looked at it. I turned and looked at it, and I asked him, I said, "Did you just see what I just saw?" And he goes, "I don't want to talk about it. Let's just go." And we just kept driving, and we didn't talk for about probably a half hour, and it really scared him. I mean, he was like shaking and just went, "Mom, I don't want to go up over that mountain again in the evening." I'm like, "I don't blame you. I don't think I will either."
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it just dawned on me. It was Baphomet. Baphomet, who I was thinking was, because he's known as being half goat, right?
Yeah.
Baphomet. And I'm thinking, so all these goat man origins that we're seeing, could that be him traveling around?
Maybe. I mean, that's a little stretching it though, because I mean, he'd be omnipresent though.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be all these sightings, like numerous sightings everywhere, because he's, you know, Baphomet. So
Well, I'm thinking
Yeah.
back through history, because just about every civilization in history has a story of some type of goat man creature.
mhm.
And that's what brought me to that concept of that. Was like, well, if he's demonic, so that would actually fit in that.
But with the Greeks, though, I mean, that's where we got to be careful bringing in Christianity and whatnot to other beliefs, because we're going to paint, you know, their beliefs with our religious beliefs. And we should never, ever do that, because we have to look into the origins of what they actually do. Satyrs weren't evil.
Oh, yeah.
Satyrs weren't a thing that were dangerous. They were actually playful spirits. They were kind of like Ents. They were, you know, elementals.
Yeah.
They weren't dangerous creatures. So to compare Goatman with the Satyrs, because I mean, Goatman's been said to actually harm people, to chase them and make them fall off train tracks or cause them to get hit by a train. Satyrs were more helpful. They were those little buddies you had when you went out in the wild. So we got to be really careful when we parallel other cultures' beliefs with our own religious beliefs. That's something that we can't really afford to do too much.
Yep.
What
That's
I was
right.
looking at is like these goat man stuff, because the goat man, what he does actually fits in with that Baphomet deal. And then you got the Egyptian who's got
To
one.
a degree. Because I mean, with Baphomet, they gave sacrifices to Baphomet. They offered up killings of animals, children, and women to Baphomet. I don't see the goat man requiring that kind of thing. So again, that's where we got to be really careful analoging things. And the perfect example that I can give you, a lot of people say Bigfoot is a demon, okay? And maybe to them, it fits the description of a demon. But you got the Iroquois, okay? They talk about the Kiche-Sabe. He was full of wisdom. He was a great teacher. He wasn't evil in any sense. So for, you know, the white crowd to say, oh, they're demonic. Yeah, no, shut up. You're painting somebody else's culture with your beliefs.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I take
Absolutely.
that very personal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if I can interject here really quick too,
Sure.
you almost have to look at it with fresh eyes, as if you don't have any background in anything. You know, we have to look at everything from a perspective of it's brand new, and we're not going to think anything about what we've heard in the past. We're going to look at it brand new, fresh eyes, and go with what the information presents itself to us.
To
Spot
a
on.
degree, yes, but you also got to understand, our ancestors wrote about this stuff and dealt with them more than we did, so their knowledge on them will be far better than ours right now. So you got to
Yes
kind
and
of
no.
lean a little bit on history.
Yes and no.
A little bit on history.
You got to remember, back in those times, superstition was part of their religion. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why they had good luck charms and everything. So they were creating things
Yeah.
from their superstitious beliefs. It may not have been factual, may not even been something that they
Yeah.
even witnessed at any point. It's something that they thought, oh, it looks like this, so therefore it does that. You know, and that's something that could be completely made up. And again, we can't take made up stuff as factual, because it's not really factual.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's-
look at
you
how
gotta have
long.
least- you
Look
gotta
at
have
how
some of
long.
the- Go ahead. Sorry.
Just look at. I can't remember where in history, and maybe Ryan, you can help me, because you're really good at being able to. You're really good at history. But where was it, and when was it, when there was the people that were living out in the prairie were saying that they kept seeing a demon. They kept seeing a demon, and they were going, oh, there's a demon, and everybody was terrified, and it turned out to be a kangaroo that got loose from a train. And because nobody had ever seen a kangaroo before, they thought it was a demon.
Yep, that started way back in 1878. That was down in Virginia. In Virginia, they thought that. And they actually they added the story that this thing could clear an entire field with one jump. See, that's what I'm saying here, Eric. They said a kangaroo could jump the entire length of a field in one bound. No kangaroo in the world can do that. So they were adding powers and abilities to this thing because they thought it was a demon. So when something is called a demon, you got to look and go, was it
I
really
get
though?
that, but that's where you got to take the history and the modern stuff and combine it together to come up with the truth. You got to have part of that history in there, otherwise you're not going to know. So we hear, how many times do we hear all these freaking cryptid programs now about how, well, we'll use your example, how much Bigfoot is so mean and he does all this stuff. I'm like, no. Look at Native Americans. No. Native Americans, they warred with them, they trade with them, they lived with them, they learned from them, they learned from them. I mean, it's a symbiosis together. They coexisted together. You know, they were talking about, you know, Tonka, the elder big brother, the first beings, one of the first beings.
Yeah,
that's your history that you got to tie into this. So when you start now, you get dealing with this dude here. Yes, I'll agree with you. He's a butt. He's mean. You know, I mean, he's known as the face eater for a reason. You know
what? I'm actually writing an article on the Gugwe right now because there's a lot of misinterpretation on the Gugwe. So, because you know the name, I forgot the name of the tribe that they started from. It was up in Canada, but you know the name doesn't translate to face eater in English. It doesn't mean that at all. It means the wild man or the hairy man. So people are saying, "Oh, Gugwe is this tribe's name and it means face eater." No, it doesn't. It means wild man or hairy man. Gugwe is actually an Anglo-Saxon version of the Kookwes. That's what they called them, the Kookwes, not the Gugwe. So we're saying, this tribe called them Gugwe. It meant face eater, but we're actually ignoring what this tribe actually called them, though. And we can't do that because when you do that, you're making up your own history, and that's not true.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Yep.
Yep, my mouse ain't working. Daggone it. There you thank you, William. Algonquin.
Now, Algonquin and Cree and Ojibwe, they got a very close relationship with Bigfoot, dude. So.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's, and this is why I tell people all the time, they're just like us. Some of them are going to be good. Some of them's going to have a piss poor temper. I mean, I've had peaceful reactions for 32 years out here with my guests.
That's a slippery slope, though. I think you're kind of looking at a hill here. You got at the bottom, you got the really friendly ones, but you got to go up to the midpoint where there are native tribes that talked about how violent they were with them. Case in point, the Jinoskwa. Okay, Jinoskwa were never thought of as a thing. The Algonquins, the Cree, the Ojibwe, when they talk about Jinoskwa, they don't say, oh, they were gentle, they were teaching spirits. They talk about these guys as man-eaters. So you got to wonder what caused that behavior. Why are some so friendly, whereas some are just straight up murderers? It's something you got to take into consideration.
Well, it's like a laugh.
From what I understood it as being from the old legends, because there was a split between them. One side wanted to hunt and eat humans, where the other side didn't. That's why you have the two different kinds. I could see that. Like for me, and that's why I was saying, even though mine has been peaceful out here, and I've had peaceful interactions, it does take one. It just takes one with a bad attitude. They have a person. I mean, I could be wrong. This is me spitballing my theory, my opinion. They have a personality. We have personalities. Some of us are good. Some of us, not so much. I can see that being with them too, especially considering, I've said this multiple times before. They've been known to steal women and breed with them, and men. They don't like to admit that, but they've been known to steal men and breed with them as well. If they're able to breed and create offspring, then genetically we have to be damn near similar, if not almost identical. Otherwise, you can't create offspring. So if that's the case, they're known as the elder big brother. You have to consider the possibility of them having a personality. You really do.
They do.
And you hear
Absolutely.
That you hear that through. Look at all those counters. All the counters will tell you that too. And that's why the history and the modern stuff comes into play, because we can see in the history where it talks about this, we see modern encounters where it's saying the same thing. And that's where I'm like, okay, until something proves me differently, I kind of have to agree with that.
Well, I can tell you.
Go ahead, Angelique. Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Ladies first.
Well, what I can tell you from my team's perspective is that we have interacted with 5 different clans, and each of those clans have a different, basically, Oh, I got a police over here with their lights on, but it looks like they're doing something over there. Sorry. So if you see any flashing lights, yeah.
Christmas colors.
Anyway,
Christmas colors.
each of those clans has a different opinion about our kind. One of them did not like us, and the other one was kind of indifferent, and then the other three were really, really super nice and kind, and have been interacting, leaving gifts, and have been really, really gentle and nice. But that one that didn't like us, I wouldn't want to be out in their area after dark.
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, so you take the Native Americans themselves. Look how many times, like, one family group would break off from one tribe to create their own. Okay.
Yep.
Different opinions, they would split up. That I could put that. I'd say that'd probably be the same with them as well, especially considering look how the natives talked about them in the old days.
Well, there could also be more than one thing, though. I mean, if you look at like Nahanni Valley, they talk about the Nahanni, and you talk about the Nukluk, and those are two different types of Bigfoot. One is described as a Neanderthal-like man. The other one's more like a gorilla. So, are we actually running into two different things and labeling it all as Bigfoot? That's just something I think everybody needs to start thinking about.
Yep.
And when I did a Neanderthal show, when I did that Neanderthal show, I brought up this concept to people. Could some of these Bigfoot that we're seeing be the lost remnants of Neanderthal? And then it was funny as heck, because a few months later, I seen an article from the science people saying, "Well, we were wrong about Neanderthals. They were bigger and hairier than what we thought they were." And I'm going, yeah, I was told
they were
a long time.
They were also much more intelligent than what we gave them credit for, too. Because you got to remember, back when we were kids, they depicted them as being stupid and just these big jug-headed nothings like animals. And nobody gave them credit for being probably way more intelligent than even we are.
Yep.
They survived. They survived when all odds were against them.
Yep.
That takes intelligence.
Do you know what the one key scientific thing that always caused me to not believe them when it came to Neanderthal? So they tell us that Homo erectus evolved from monkeys eating proteins, which enlarged their brains, became smarter, where they could walk. You know, the whole spiel from school. What did Neanderthals eat all the time? What did Neanderthals eat all the time?
Meat. They eat meat all the time. Yeah.
So if they were getting the exact same proteins, exact same meats as humans, Homo sapiens were, why would they have not been smarter? I mean, it's just common sense.
Yeah.
Well, and they didn't have all of the the chemicals that we have, and they also didn't create all these creature comforts that basically left them without the need to survive. We have all these things that we can be lazy. We don't have to think. We've got computers to do it for us.
True.
So we've dumbed ourselves down.
These last few generations, if that damn thing goes down there, oh my God. You talking about a zombie apocalypse. I mean, there's your daggone zombie apocalypse, I'm telling you.
Well, since we got to bring this to a close, I'm going to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has such a better year. I know everybody had a rough year this year, and I'm really hoping and praying that everybody just has a marvelous year next year, and you guys have a great, great Christmas. Remember, it's not what's under the tree, it's who's around it, okay? So spend time with your family and just be happy, guys. All right?
Yeah.
So that's my closing statements. So.
Yep. And I'd like to say thank you for you all for having given me all the tips for my cold, and I plan on trying every one of them if it'll help get me back to work tomorrow. But I want to wish you all Merry Christmas, and I want you all to remember that, like what he said, it's not about what's under, it's who is around you. And really, you don't know if tomorrow is going to be there. So love with all of your heart, and take every moment to share your love with other people. It's important.
Yeah. All right. With that
Yep.
said, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hey, Ryan, Angelique, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
I hope
you.
to get you guys on again sometime with me and William. It'd be a blast. So,
Yep.
everybody,
Thank you.
thank you for joining William's Chris.